G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a Cheytac M200 intervention. This is a giant American-made sniper rifle, or perhaps in this case an anti-material rifle, and it costs about 10,000 US dollars per unit for this thing in real life, which is kind of not reflected by the value here, but I just throw that out there. And this thing is super heavy. It's clocking in without any modifications on it whatsoever at just under 28 pounds, which is like 8 pounds heavier than a Fat Man launcher. I feel like that's kind of interesting. Will the weight be worth it? I guess we shall see. So it comes to you in Fallout 4 in the form of a standalone rifle type weapon. You can snipe with it, you put a scope on it, you can put a suppressor on it, all of that. It's got custom sounds and animations too. The sounds are from Battlefield 4, so they sound unreal. This thing sounds great. Can't wait to fire this thing unsuppressed just so we can hear the reverb of the bullet as it echoes around us. It's so good. It's so fun to listen to. And it's also got custom animations that are basically ported from Battlefield 4, but not really, which means I reckon Zest of Lemon, which is the animator who made a lot of the Battlefield 1 animations that I still use to this day, has looked at the animations frame by frame and painstakingly recreated it using whatever software it takes to make animations in Fallout 4, which would have been a hell of a process, and I have to applaud him for that. Love it. So we're looking at a pretty high quality weapon mod. Can't wait to actually start using this. So we'll get into the attachments and we'll get ourselves out there as soon as possible. Standard receiver stuff with the escape from Boston stuff. You just go tier 5 and that's the highest. You will require rank 4 in gun nut, rank 4 and rank 1 in sniper, sorry. Rank 2 in sniper, very, very important, because that's where you get the knockdowns. And you can have a 29-inch barrel, a 29-inch suppressed barrel, or a 22 version with a suppressed and unsuppressed version. As much as I'd like this thing to be loud and proud, we're going to put a suppressor on this one. And for a magazine, you can have explosive bullets or incendiary bullets. We get a lot of damage using the explosive bullets, so we'll definitely use those. And then I like how, like, this is probably not the most creative thing the mod has done here, but it says totally not a way to inflate mag options. Well, you could have had bullets that do more crit damage, more VATS accuracy bullets, just throwing that out there. But, you know, these round types, I guess, would reflect real rounds. And you'll note that it'll describe them as 408 Cheytac rounds. And the reason why we're firing 50s here is it's just a logical thing. Instead of using the a standalone ammo source for this, which would be a pain in the ass for players to get, though, just use an existing ammo type, and it's close enough. They're different in size, but the 50 cal bullets is close enough, and it'd be cheap firing 308s from this thing, I think. So I think they've done the right moves there, right decision. And we could put a big old scope on it, and there's also non-see-through scope variants, which we'll be using because I don't really like see-through scopes. I've been using them recently, but I just think having a TV vision scope is a lot better. It helps me focus, because if I was a racehorse, I'd have to wear one of those hoods that cuts off my peripheral vision. I can focus better or something. Anyways, we've got a stock. We can extend it or fold it. I like when you've got it folded, you'll have like a half of it is there, but then the other half isn't, and that just gives you room to pull the bolt back. That's kind of cool. Not actually sure what that thing does, unless you want to make a super compact one, which we might consider doing a little bit later. You can have it folded to make it look a little bit smaller, but we'll leave that extended for now. And you can chuck a laser sight or a flashlight on the top rail if you feel like it. We'll go for a laser sight because why not? You go either green or red on this thing. I can tell them apart. I am colorblind, but you could also have a dot or only a beam if you feel like it, or completely turn it off if you don't feel like using it at all. Sorry. So we'll go for a beam. That's cool. And we've got a bipod. Right now it is folded. You can rip the thing off. It even says it right there. Or you can have it unfolded, which says it almost becomes cheating to use it, because it basically means your scope stability is basically completely still. That's kind of cool, I guess. I like that idea. Unfortunately, there's nothing in Fallout 4 to support the use of bipods, so you'll just have to pretend that I'm mounting on something, right? And you can change the pistol grip if you want. It takes gun nut rank 2, a bit of plastic and a screw to change it. I'm not really sure what these things would do to the performance of the weapon. Probably doesn't do anything at all. We'll go for Mo. Magpul Mo. We'll go for that one. But now you can change the color of it. And I'll quickly cycle through them. Gonna go for white here because that matches the Institute colors there. Unfortunately, you can't get any red on it, but yep, that's the customization for this thing. We'll create a couple more of these, and we'll get started. You won't be able to craft this thing on a chemistry workbench. Instead, you'll just find them on raiders and gunners and the like at level 25. Those of you who have been watching the channel for a while probably remember I did a Cheytac once, and it was like one of those Fallout Fan Club paid mods, and I've got it here right now for comparisons. I feel like the Fan Club one is smaller, and if we take a quick look in first person, they're very similar. The animations are slightly different, and obviously that's because they are different, but, you know, I think I like this one better, so bye-bye Fan Club one, go to hell paid mods. Also, here's a reason not to use the see-through versions of the scope. If you've got a laser sight, it'll block your view. Also, it has a terrible moment where stuff just disappears because you need to start looking down a scope, so we'll be switching this to just the standard scope, please, no STS, and then we jump off the workbench. If we look down it, yep, just a standard 10 times scope, and you'll note that there's barely any sway at all, so we're going to be super accurate, right? Alrighty, we'll go on another sniping run here. First, kill the crabs, then the raiders, then the super mutants, then we'll finish off in Quincy, and this is what the Cheytac looks like in first person. You've already seen it, but in third person, this thing is a monster, and look how far Phoebe has to stretch her arm just to hold the front of that funky grip there. It's a monster weapon. It's so gigantic. It's massive. And here's one without a suppressor, so we can hear it loud and proud. This one here has got a compact stock and a shortened barrel with a laser sight on top, also with a see-through scope. And the last one here has a suppressed short barrel, but iron sights for close quarters aiming, I guess, and possibly some VATS usage. Anyways, I guess we'll get started. There's a crab. He goes down. Got another soft shell there, which apparently we can just shoot right through there. No, didn't think that was going to work. Alright, I've got to get this out of the system early, so... there we go. Luckily, the jumps in this game have a hang time of like 3 seconds. The gravity in the Fallout universe has been nerfed by Todd Howard, so that was totally valid. Just like those hitboxes, which there's nothing wrong with at all. And with this crab dead, the lobster, I guess, that's it. And there's the reload animations, which I will show you in third person. And, sorry, I went to the transfer menu on the cooking station there. Very nice, quite like that. So, probably going to be super easy if I keep sniping stuff suppressed, and I'm dying to hear and showing off how this thing sounds without a suppressor because it's unreal. Just wait a second here. I'd like to kill that one first because she usually hides behind that caravan thing. Nice. Got them all nice and quick there. Liking the performance so far. Love the way this thing sounds. We probably won't get too much use of it here. I'm actually kind of considering going over to suppress weapons because the super mutants, if we don't hit them in the right spot, they will survive and then they will find us. But we've got this long-ass scope we can see from a bloody mile out, so we'll get started, I guess. There goes one. We can sort of use VATS to scope out targets if we feel like it as well. There goes another. That guy's got a stick. Not super worried about him. And here they come. They're coming in with sticks. Probably not the best choice of weapon, but if they get close, I'm in a little bit of trouble. Oh, it's like a shooting gallery right now. Cheytac making it look easy here. And where are you, mate? That was a little babby super mutant, the poor bastard. Alright, that's them dealt with. I guess we'll move on to the main course here. We're cleaning up with this thing right now. It doesn't feel overpowered. I'm still getting sneak crits on everything, despite not using a suppressor. And I guess that can be, I guess, accounted to with the range on this thing and just that almost 4 times multiplier anyway. And since we could just shoot them from so far back, we can have an easy job at taking these guys out. And not quite killed there. Didn't finish him off. We'll go for a no-scope here. Wow, got him first try, and you all saw that. I don't think I need to make any necessary jump cuts there. That's fine. We did really well there. I'm quite amazed. There's the missile launcher guy, which we will promptly knock off the side of the church before exclaiming he's hot. You know what? If I was shot by an explosive bullet, I think a little bit of high body temperature would be the least of my problems. Are you sleeping? Well, I guess you are now. Dirt nap time. Man, these gunners are built different. They can take these 50s to the chest and stand up like nothing happened. Thanks, Hitbox. Really wanted to cause self-injury there. And half of these gunners are still unaware. I rarely use scopes like this. Generally, with vanilla guns, with suppressors, you don't really have to. But, oh, shot in the leg with a 50 like that, that's not handy. That's probably not handy at all. Probably break your leg instantly. In fact, we did. That was probably an unnecessary, inhumane way to kill a gunner. Didn't get the pacifier there. He's running off with his stick. He is definitely dead at this point. And I guess we'll move up to the highway now. Oh, so close. Thought we were going to get him with the no-scope. We'll switch over to this one. There we go. Don't have to reload this one. So this one's going to be slightly better in close quarters where I don't have to, like, aim at something with a scope. Don't have to tell their eye color from this distance. So we'll see what we can do with this thing in VATS in comparison. So we go this thing. Okay, so it's 2 shots with that, basically filling up our AP bar. And this one, they're about the same. I'm actually kind of disappointed that there isn't any VATS benefit here at all to speak of. I guess it is easy to aim this thing in close range now. Actually aimed using the laser sight just then because I couldn't even see the crosshair on the scope. And now they're getting a bit angry with me, so we'll see if we can kill these guys easier. This has got the incendiary round, so I'm actually losing out on a tiny bit of damage here and there. And I saw that. Gonna knock you right out. Take that. Good old Assaultron Dominators. Not as dangerous as they are in 76. Especially with the infinite health scaling. What was that? Oh, he just threw his gun down. Well, that was dramatic. And we'll shoot you in the leg. I guess that's a good as place hit than any. And now we can go on the ground here. Take that. Rechambering animation. Actually, no-scoped that headshot there. I was watching the rechambering animation and sort of went for it. I'm just that good. And now we get to finish off the rest of them, which, hang on, there's still a couple over here. Look at stragglers. Need to develop a better route for killing these guys. Gunner's Plaza is easy. There's a lot more open spaces. We show off the bash animation, which I got one of. And it's kind of like the Battlefield 4 and 3 knife swipe, but there's no knife, so you just punch him instead. Take this. And the takedown animation doesn't work. You sort of look at them and, you know, give them a bit of a death stare, and then they beat themselves to death with nothing. So that's kind of odd. Let's switch over to the Iron Sight one. Hey, have you got one as well? No, that's an SVD. Tell you what, that Russian gun mod really dominates the the leveled list for guns, and unfortunately, that's not the main offender. I think we got lucky there. That was probably Ricochet that killed him, but they were dead to rights anyway. Alright, so I think we'll go into the nighttime. We'll have a little bit more fun with nighttime sniping with suppressors. Alright, so it is now nighttime. We're going for a full Spec Ops mission here, and I guess old mate over here is the first victim, so he'll go down. In some ways, I kind of like how this thing is so inefficient in VATS, because it kind of makes you want to use it more like a sniper rifle anyway, where you got to sort of aim and line up shots for yourself. But, you know, it would be a little bit nice to have a little bit of VATS power us with it, because sniping using VATS criticals and everything, I think, is super fun, and you just kind of can't do that. You're sort of locked into this sort of only real-time aiming playstyle, which, you know, it's working really well for this weapon, but just a little bit more leniency on the VATS cost, I think, will do the mod a little bit of good. But if that's not what the modder's vision is, or the mod author's vision, then that's okay with that. I can respect that, and obviously I can just change that for myself if I want to. Where's the bear? There you are. Winnie the Pooh looking a little bit bad after the apocalypse. I think the loss of Piglet and Eeyore really did a number on him. Anyways, we'll get started on shooting these mutants. And that dog was full sending it there. And now we can hit them with a 4.4 times multiplier instead of the 3.9, which will give me that ever extra edge in damage there, because multipliers they're pretty strong. They were so strong in Fallout 76 that they deleted them entirely, so that was fun. Well, not really. That's part of the reason why I stopped caring so much. Just it made it a lot less fun, to be honest, but that's okay. We still got them here. We still got our precious multipliers, and we can use them to great effect to almost one-shot everything. We might be edging out on the range on that guy just there, but we can still see him clearly enough to fill up most of the scope with his silhouette there, so that works out well. We'll take out that, and I think we'll use the vantage point of that particular mutant to see if we can have a run at the rest of the camp. Yes. This is a decent position here. If that lantern gives me away, then that would be unfortunate. We'll see that one later. We'll shoot at that one's foot, I guess. Okay, maybe it's a better idea if I had stayed away, but that's okay. Bit of VATS action here, why not? We'll go for a critical just to see what we can do. Not quite a one-shot kill. But now, as soon as we're done here, that's our AP out. We actually managed to get that kill because of the gun through giving us that slight extra bit of damage. There you go, there's another one for the montage, just sick no-scope there. And honestly, we'll switch over to something else now, I think. There we go. You'll note that there's rechambering animations. They look very much like the ones in Battlefield 4 without a scope too. So a little bit more attention to detail. Love it. It's just such a great mod. I love it already. It's so good. I think this will be a mainstay. I think I even like this better than the combined arms M82 anti-material rifle, you know, the Barrett one. And I think we're done here, so we'll be right back. And we could probably get away with starting to shoot the dude here. Also, this is a gate, and you can open it. And you can also stand in the wrong spot and get soft locked, but not today. I'm going to start sniping at him. And we actually got a cheeky little knockdown there. Probably should have reloaded first, but that's okay. Got a bunch of muties coming in. We'll just take them out as they come along. We can hang right back here and be fairly fine. And you know what? I'm going to take these couple of shots because I'm not going to be using my AP for sprinting that much. Okay, that didn't do anything. There we go. That's better. That's almost 6,000 damage right there. Hits like a bloody truck, this thing. Gonna keep continuing to get these procs for sniper. There's another no-scope for the show. And I completely avoided all that damage. I believe that was the Unstoppables magazine kicking in here. We'll get rid of this mutie, and then we'll think about jumping over the fence. We didn't jump over the fence. Alright, just do a nonchalant reload there as we're being chased around by a gigantic monster. Right. I think this tiny light picket fence will stop him in his tracks. His pathing cannot possibly find me now. He actually forgot where I was. Oh, he's gone. Don't worry, we'll chase him down. We'll contact Nina. She's a perfect hunter and tracker. She'll know exactly where I could find him. Alright, took us 2 minutes to find him because we're just that good. And this time, there's gonna be none of this shenanigans where you just despawn out the world, alright? And I want some of these criticals back, so we'll attempt to get it back. It's not happening. But now, we've got a lot more range on him, and we're hitting him for 2,000 every time, which is unreal. I'm going to pop a reload here using quick hands, because you can sort of activate a reload in VATS. That's not a 50 cal round. Oh, hell we go. Actually, that's probably the explosive bullet override that does that. That's strange. I think what they could do with the explosive bullets is obviously give it the right shape as it's going in for a VATS thing. But they could also make it like the Sentry Bot explosion, which is just a little bit bigger. It looks like we're just using the standard legendary explosion effect, which, you know, it works for the smaller bullets, but I think there could be a little bit more punch here. Consider the New Vegas 50 cal explosive bullets from the Gunrunner's Arsenal DLC, a little expansion there. Consider how that makes a big old bang, but this, it just doesn't have that same kick to it. I'm kind of nitpicking here because I can't find anything to actually complain about, which honestly is a good thing. We'll hit this spinny little bastard, don't worry. We'll be made for crit fodder. Thanks, Grim Reaper. Nice. Alright, so on that note, I think I'll end it there with the Cheytac M200 intervention. This is probably one of the best sniper mods I have ever used. I just love it so much. There's a lot of power here. It doesn't feel too overpowered. And they've caught that balance really well. And even on a difficulty like very hard, that's sort of difficult to do. Perhaps if you're using this on lesser difficulties, you'll find that you're steamrolling everything. But for a very hard thing, I think it's pretty good. Although you could always just reduce the tiers in your receivers to make it a little bit more normal, I guess. If you feel like it's a little bit overpowered, obviously some agency needs to be taken to do that. But I've had a blast with this weapon. I would highly recommend you getting this mod if there's an Xbox port. I really hope there is, because something like this, I don't think Xbox players should miss out on, because it's honestly a must-have, I think. I really like this thing. This is probably one of my most favorite weapon mods to date. And on that glowing recommendation and note, thank you very much for watching, guys.